7 lessons to avoid costly mistakes. Instead of copying success, the JackMa reality check. Most people study success like it's a map. JackMa's mindset flips it. Success is the highlight reel. Mistakes are the real manual. Because success is noisy, full of luck, timing, connections, and invisible advantages, mistakes are quieter, clearer, and repeatable. You can't reliably copy someone's wins, but you can absolutely avoid their losses. And that single shift, instead of learning from other people's success, learn from their mistakes, can save you years, money, and heartbreak. This essay breaks down that idea in a practical way. Why copying success often fails, how to extract usable lessons from failures, and how to build your own anti-mistake system for work, business, and life.
1. Why copying success is seductive and dangerous. Success stories feel clean. Someone starts with nothing, works hard, and becomes unstoppable. We love that narrative because it's simple, motivating, and gives us hope. But success is rarely a simple equation. It's usually a messy mix of
Timing. Entering a market at the exact moment demand explodes.
context, the economy, culture, regulations, technology, and trends.
Networks. Access to people, capital, distribution, and credibility. Survivorship bias. We only hear from the winners, not the thousands who tried the same thing and failed. Personal fit. One person's dream routine may be your burnout recipe. So when you learn from success, you often learn the wrong lesson. You copy the visible behaviors, the style, instead of the invisible conditions, the substance. You copy the morning routine, the pitch deck format, the YouTube title pattern, the business model, the investment portfolio. And then you wonder why it doesn't work.
JackMa's statement is a warning. If you obsess over the win, you'll ignore the landmines. And landmines are what kill momentum. The hidden problem. Success is not always earned in the way you think. Even when success is real, the explanation may not be. People create narratives after the fact. They attribute the outcome to what makes them look smart. Mindset, hard work, hustle, discipline. Those things matter, but the story is usually incomplete. They rarely say, "We got lucky with a single partnership. A competitor collapsed unexpectedly. A platform algorithm boosted us for 6 months. Regulation changed and helped us. My uncle introduced me to the right person." Mistakes, on the other hand, are brutally honest. When someone loses money because they expanded too fast, trusted the wrong partner, ignored customers, or underestimated cash flow, the lesson is concrete. It translates. 2. Why learning from mistakes is more reliable. Mistakes reveal cause and effect with fewer illusions. Here's why. A. Mistakes repeat across industries. T. Overconfidence, poor cash management, hiring too late or too early, building features nobody asked for, marketing without positioning, partnerships without clear incentives, ignoring legal, compliance, or risk, chasing vanity metrics, refusing to pivot because of ego, thinking more effort can fix a broken strategy. Different decades, different platforms, same failures. B. Mistakes are often cheaper to learn secondhand. Paying tuition with your own life is expensive. Secondhand learning is like getting the degree without the debt. If you can study 100 people's failures, you build instinct faster than living 100 lifetimes. C. Mistakes expose weak assumptions. Every failure is a stress test. It reveals what you assumed would be true, that wasn't. That's gold. Success can hide weak assumptions because momentum masks problems. Failure drags them into the light. 3. The anti-success mindset. Learn the negative space. Instead of asking, "What did they do to win?" Ask, what did they do that almost ruined them? What decision was irreversible? What risk did they underestimate? What warning signs did they ignore? What did they wish they had done earlier? Think of it like safety engineering. Airplanes are safe not because we only celebrate successful flights. They're safe because every crash is investigated until the root cause is understood, documented, and prevented. That is JackMa's point in one line. Mistakes are data. Success is noise. 4. How to extract lessons from other people's mistakes. A real method.
Learn from mistakes sounds good, but how do you do it without turning into a doom scroller of failure stories? Use a structured approach.
Step 1. Identify the failure category.
Most mistakes fall into a small set of buckets.
Execution mistakes.
Poor planning, weak processes, inconsistent delivery. People mistakes. Bad hires, toxic culture, wrong partners.
Market mistakes. Wrong audience, weak demand, bad timing.
Money mistakes.
Cash flow, debt, pricing, unit economics. Strategy mistakes. No differentiation. Chasing too many things. No focus. Risk mistakes. Legal, reputation, security, dependencies on one platform. Psychological mistakes. Ego, impatience, fear of looking stupid, sunk cost fallacy. When you can label the category, you can apply the lesson to your own life immediately. Step 2. Find the first wrong step. Most failures are not one big explosion. They're a chain reaction. Ask, what was the first decision that made everything else harder?
Example, a startup dies because of competition, but the first wrong step might have been pricing too low, hiring too fast, or ignoring retention. Competition just revealed the weakness.
Step 3. Identify the illusion. Every mistake has a story people told themselves.
We'll figure it out later. It'll work out. We just need to go viral. This person will change. We're different. If we build it, they'll come. Bigger is better. I don't need a plan.
Write down the illusion, because you are vulnerable to the same illusion. Step 4. Extract a prevention rule. Turn the lesson into a rule you can follow under pressure. Examples.
Never hire a friend without a written job description and measurable outcomes. Never scale spend until retention is proven. Never depend on one channel for 80% of revenue. Never sign a partnership without defining incentives and exit terms.
If it's not a rule, it's just inspiration. And inspiration fades when reality hits. 5. Mistakes you should study, because they destroy most people. Here are high-leverage mistakes worth learning from, across business and life. Mistake number 1. Confusing movement with progress. Busy is not effective. Many people feel productive because they do a lot. Meetings, posts, designs, brainstorming, research, rebranding. But nothing converts. They're building activity, not outcomes. Prevention rule. Choose one measurable outcome per week. If it doesn't move, your work is a distraction. Mistake number 2. Building without validation. People fall in love with their idea. They build for months, then launch to silence. They assume the world cares. It doesn't. Prevention rule. Sell the problem before you build the solution. Validate demand early with the smallest test possible. Mistake number 3. Choosing the wrong partners.
A partner can multiply you or destroy you. Many businesses die not from a bad product, but from a bad relationship. Misaligned incentives, unclear ownership, trust without contracts.
Prevention rule. Put everything in writing, including what happens when things go wrong. Mistake number 4. Scaling too early. Early success can be a trap. A few wins convince you the system is proven. You hire, spend, expand, and then the fragile foundation collapses.
Prevention rule. Don't scale what isn't stable. Growth magnifies weaknesses.
Mistake number 5. Ignoring cash flow. Profit on paper means nothing if cash is missing when bills arrive. Cash flow is oxygen. You don't feel it until it's gone.
Prevention rule. Track cash weekly. Build a runway. Don't confuse revenue with safety.
Mistake number 6. Chasing vanity metrics.
Views, likes, followers, press. These can be real, but often they are dopamine. Vanity metrics are the fake scoreboard.
Prevention rule.
Track the metrics that pay you. Conversion, retention, repeat customers, watch time, revenue per viewer, referrals.
Mistake number 7. Becoming addicted to certainty. People wait to feel ready. They want guarantees,
But certainty is expensive and rare. If you demand it, you move slowly. Prevention rule. Decide with 70% information. Adjust quickly. Speed beats perfection in most real-world games.
Mistake number 8. Believing talent is enough.
Talent is fragile without systems. Discipline is not motivation. It's structure. Prevention rule. Build routines that work even when you don't feel like it.
Mistake number 9. Letting ego block learning. Ego hates being wrong. It turns feedback into an attack. But being wrong is how you grow.
Prevention rule. Treat criticism like a tool, not a verdict.
Mistake number 10.
Copying strategies without copying prerequisites.
People copy the visible tactics of successful people without having the prerequisites: audience, capital, brand trust, team, distribution, experience.
Prevention rule. Before copying, ask, what conditions made this possible? If you don't have them, adjust. 6. How JackMa's idea applies to real life, not just business. This principle is bigger than entrepreneurship. It's also about relationships, health, and personal growth.
Relationships.
Learning from success. Look how perfect their marriage is. Learning from mistakes. What patterns lead to divorce, resentment, and silence?
Common relationship mistakes. Avoiding hard conversations. Assuming love is enough. Not setting boundaries.
Choosing attraction over values.
Letting small disrespect become normal.
Prevention rule. Address small problems early. The future is built from what you tolerate now.
Health.
Learning from success. This influencer's workout plan. Learning from mistakes. What injuries and habits destroy consistency?
Common health mistakes.
Extreme diets, overtraining.
Ignoring sleep. Treating stress like a badge. Measuring health by appearance only.
Prevention rule. Prioritize sustainability. The best plan is the one you can maintain for years.
Career.
Learning from success. They became a manager fast. Learning from mistakes. What choices make people stuck, underpaid, or irrelevant?
Common career mistakes. Staying too long in a dying skill set. Avoiding hard projects.
Waiting for recognition instead of building proof.
Not learning communication and negotiation.
Being loyal to a company that is not loyal to you.
Prevention rule. Build transferable skills and evidence of value.
7. Build your mistake library, a personal system. If you want to live JackMa's idea, don't just read failures, store them. Create a simple mistake library, 5 minutes a week.
Use a note app or spreadsheet. Every time you see a failure story in business, career, relationships, write what happened. What was the first wrong step? What illusion did they believe? What rule will prevent this for me?
Over time, you build wisdom that actually protects you. The pre-mortem trick. Before starting a project, do this exercise. Imagine it's 1 year later and the project failed. Ask, why? Write 10 reasons. Then design protections for the top 3.
This is learning from mistakes before they happen.
8. The deeper lesson? Humility beats hype. When JackMa says to learn from mistakes, he's also pointing at humility. People who only chase success often develop arrogance. They believe the world owes them a result. People who study mistakes develop respect for reality. They become calm, strategic, and less emotional under pressure.
Success worship makes you fragile because you're chasing an image. Mistake learning makes you resilient because you're building competence.
9. What to do starting today. If you want to apply this immediately, here are actionable moves.
Pick one area.
Money, business, health, relationships, career.
Find 5 case studies of failure in that area.
Books, interviews, documentaries, founder stories, post-mortems. Extract 10 prevention rules.
Put the top 3 rules somewhere visible.
Review weekly. When you feel tempted to copy success, ask, what mistake am I not seeing?
Because that question is what keeps you alive in the long run.
Conclusion. Success is a story. Mistakes are a blueprint. Instead of learning from other people's success, learn from their mistakes. That isn't pessimism, it's precision. It's the mindset of people who want to win sustainably, not temporarily. Copying success often makes you chase the wrong thing. Studying mistakes helps you avoid traps that end journeys early.
The biggest advantage isn't having a perfect plan. It's avoiding the predictable failures that break most people. When you learn from mistakes, especially other people's, you gain something rare. The ability to move faster, with less ego, and fewer costly surprises.